Out of all the power banks that I've tried this year, the INIU P63 was my go-to. But if you're someone that needs that high capacity, but you don't want to waste any time to charge your MacBook, your iPhone, your iPad, your Switch 2, we're going to check out INIU's flagship power bank, the P64. Man, power banks have been like one of the most useful things that you can buy now. Like, everyone has to stay connected and everything has a fast charge now too. So you got to have something that's going to be able to keep up. This is INIU's most powerful power bank, and it's also one of the fastest power banks that I've tried under $100. Once again, I've tested this with my MacBook Pro M3 Pro, iPhone 17 Pro Max, Switch 2, PlayStation Portal, the iPad Pro M1 12.9 inch, and also the iPad Pro M4 11 inch, and my Apple Watch Ultra 2. And this video is sponsored by INIU, but I'm gonna go over everything, the good and not so good of this power bank. When I say this thing's like the P63's bigger, bro, this thing is bigger, heavier, and it's a lot more powerful. You can get this for $89.99, which is actually pretty good for a 145 watt, 25,000 milliamp hour power bank. And it comes with a 240 watt, 2-foot USB-C to C cable to be able to fast charge everything. So on the top, we have two USB-C ports. One is a 140 watt max output, and the other one is a 45 watt max output. Combined, if you use both of them at the same time, it's a 100 watt max output for the first one and then a 45 watt max output for the second one. So when I used both of these ports at the same time, I connected my MacBook Pro M3 Pro, the 16-inch model. Then I hooked up my iPhone 17 Pro Max. And after 30 minutes, I got 68% on my iPhone and 41% on my MacBook. So this would last me like pretty much at least like half the day, if not the whole day on the MacBook. And on the iPhone, it would definitely last me the whole day. 67% on this newer phone. That goes a long time because the battery life on this one is insane. So that 30-minute charge on this power bank basically gets me a full day's worth of usage. And then the other port is a USB-A with an 18 watt max output. This is like one of the heavier power banks that I've tried. It weighs in at 495 grams, which is like 17.3 ounces, I think. Like, depending on the pants you wear, it's pretty easy to slip in your pocket, honestly, because this thing is like more flat. It's only an inch thick. So it's 6.3 by 3.2 by 1 inch. It's about as thick as 3 iPhone Pro Maxes put together. So if you have one of the newer iPhone 17 or 17 Pro Maxes, it has a new quick charge where it's supposed to give you up to 50% within 20 minutes. And this was able to do that. I was able to get a 50% charge in exactly 20 minutes. And my MacBook Pro M3 Pro, in 25 minutes, I was able to get 50% on that. As far as speed, this is pretty similar to like the Anker 737, but in a little bit more compact form, I think. In some cases, it outperformed the 737. They also added more detail to the display on this, because most of the INIU power banks, they just have this huge screen with the percent in the front. There's like a lot of wasted space. So on this one, they added more detail. Like, you can see how many watts are going in and out, and also how many hours it has left on the power bank. They have a button on the side where you can press this. It says you can press it for 5 seconds and it'll bring up the Pro mode, which is basically like, normally you get the standard mode, which has just the percent, and if you put on the Pro mode, it brings up all those extra details. The input on this is 80 watts, so this thing charges super fast. I was able to get it to 100% in an hour and 10 minutes, but I'm going to talk about that later because I did have some issues with that. Out of the 92.5 watt hours listed on the back of this thing, which is less than 100 watt hour max limit for taking this on a flight, I was able to get 69.5 watt hours, which is a 75% efficiency rating on this. And these are the charging protocols and all the charges that I got with all my devices on the INIU P64. You also get the 3-year warranty with the P64, which is INIU's, it's pretty much INIU's standard warranty, which beats all the other power banks that I've tried. Most of the other ones that I've tried gives you a 2-year warranty. And this one has the INIU's 15-layer Smart Protect, which keeps it from overheating. And then we also get pass-through charging with this, so you can charge your power bank and your iPhone or whatever device at the same time. And then the trickle charge for smaller accessories kicks in automatically, just like the P63. So what that does is, if you have AirPods or smaller accessories that bring in a small amount of power, if it doesn't have trickle charge, the power bank, it'll think that nothing's charging and it'll just go to sleep, where the trickle charge will still send power even if it's at a lower wattage for smaller accessories. All right, some of the issues I have with this, the first thing is the display. It's a little inaccurate, and if you charge this thing to 100%, like I said, it took me an hour and 10 minutes for it to show 100%, but my meter showed that it wasn't at the 92.5 watt hours yet. It was like at 80 something. So I had to charge this thing for about 30 minutes more to get it to 92.5 watt hours, which is the capacity of this power bank. So if you buy this thing and it shows that it's at 100% after, you know, like an hour and 10 or 15 minutes, I would still charge it. I would charge it for like an hour and 40 minutes just to be sure that it's at its full capacity. Even when it's at 100%, it'll still like keep flashing, and that kind of shows that it's still getting power in to the power bank. I got it to 92.5 watt hours, but this can vary because of heat. And on a side note that's related to heat and not specific to this power bank, heat is a big factor when it comes to charging these power banks or these devices. So like, for example, like I said, on the 17 series iPhones, the fast charge is supposed to be 50% in 20 minutes, but even if I plug this into the wall charger, I can't get that 50% in 20 minutes unless you have to keep it in like a cool spot. And I had to take off the case. With the case on, if I had it like on the table or on the on the couch or something like that, I was only able to get like 43% or so within 20 minutes. But if I took off the case and, you know, I charged this thing on either a table or a hardwood floor, that's the only time I got it to exactly 50% in 20 minutes. And I tried a bunch of different blocks too. I tried the Apple one, the dynamic one, that's, you know, 60 watt max. I tried my MacBook's 140 watt charger. So heat is a big factor with a lot of these specs. Like, everything that you read is dependent on, you know, a lot of different things, and it's in like the best possible conditions too. If you're out and about and it's hot, you're probably not gonna get the fastest, you know, the most charge out of your devices. Like, it's not gonna go as fast as what they advertise. And then the last thing about it is just like bigger and heavier. Like, if you tell your girl to put this thing in her purse to carry it, she probably hit you with her purse, you know what I mean? It's not like too crazy, but if you don't mind the extra weight compared to like the P63, this one's actually a really good option. So my thoughts on this, the P64, I think it's a little similar to the Anker 737 as far as speed. Like, the strength of this one is charging, you know, bigger, more powerful devices quicker. So if you have a laptop or a MacBook Pro or something, and you have like the latest iPhone or Samsung Galaxy, this is gonna let you get all the fast charge features that those phones and, you know, laptops or MacBooks offer. Like I said, if you charge your laptop and your phone at the same time, it fast charges both of them at the same time, and it's like a good enough capacity to where, you know, you get a really good amount of power on both devices that's gonna probably last you, you know, at least like half the day, or, you know, maybe even the full day, depending on how you use it. So if your main priority is like, you have, you know, bigger devices that you want to charge up as quick as possible without having to waste any time, then this is a really good choice, because with its 25,000 milliamp hour capacity and 140 watt max output, you get a really good balance of power and speed with this one. If you're on a business trip, or if you have, you know, you're a content creator or something, you have to carry all this stuff around and make sure that it's always charged and charged up quick. This one has a good balance between power and speed, even if it is a brick. But if you don't want something this big and you want something more compact, check out my video about the best power banks of 2025 under $100. I go into detail about the INIU P63, which is my go-to power bank of 2025, and I compare it to 3 other power banks, so make sure you guys check that one out. There's affiliate links in the description if you guys want to get one of these, and it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps out the channel. So I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you guys hit that like and sub if this helps you out. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you guys at the next one. All right, peace.
Such a 90s baby though. If we grindin', then we grindin', man, I feel like Tony Hawk. And my homies got the iron, man, they feel like Tony Stark. And you better watch your head, cause it get wicked up the door.